Chair recognizes Representative Moody to speak for the bill.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, members, and I thank you all for giving me a few moments today. I was going to give these remarks yesterday, but given the atmosphere, I thought it was better to do it today. When I first came to this House, I was 27 years old, and until then, I'd been a prosecutor. You see heartbreaking things day in and day out when you're a prosecutor. You see the worst things people do to one another. Loved ones who never come back, hurts that can never be healed. It hardens you. That hard exterior is necessary because the things you're doing and seeing are immediate. You're dealing with real people right there in front of you who are looking to you for help and for justice. When I joined this body, I quickly found that things were different in the legislature. Often we come to this floor and take votes without having to look someone in the eye. We make choices based on abstract concepts that sometimes obscure those real people our decisions affect. But sometimes we do get to meet with those people, and sometimes that stays with you. For me, for this bill, I got to do that with Brandy Vella's mom and dad. Brandy was a bright, beautiful young woman who had her whole life ahead of her. But for everything so positive people could see on the outside, there was a hidden world of pain and abuse she also lived in. That world was online. Like every single one of us these days, she used technology as an integral part of her daily life. And when she did, some people who used the anonymity of the internet, people who didn't have to look her in the eye, antagonized her over and over, relentlessly. It went on so long and it was so abusive that eventually she became isolated and hopeless. She was trapped by what these cowards behind keyboards were doing to her, and her shame kept her from getting the help she needed to deal with it. And when the day came that she couldn't take it anymore, she took out a gun and she shot herself dead in front of her family. Brandy's story hit me hard because a lot has changed for me since I was that 27-year-old kid who somehow got the honor of standing on this House floor. I've become the father of 2 young boys since then. That hard exterior of a prosecutor came down right away. And when I heard the Vella family story, I heard that story as a parent. For those of you who are fathers, for those of you who are mothers, you know what I'm talking about. To think about that happening to me, to lose one of my sons that way, to think about the crippling pain that could bring them to that place, it's hard to even think about. But I guarantee you, Brandy Vella's mom and dad won't ever be able to think about anything else again. They handed me this card when we spoke. It's a funeral card. A funeral card for a child. I kept it to remind me of why we do what we do here. This bill is about real-world issues that affect people in a very real way. We need to update our laws to keep pace with the times. Young people aren't just hurting each other on the playground these days. This bill isn't designed to stifle free speech or criminalize something harmless. It's narrowly tailored towards stopping this kind of thing from happening and providing the mental health support our young people need. It's a chance to make a difference. The next Brandy Vella could be any young person in this state. It could be any one of our children who are facing pressures none of us ever had to deal with. We have a chance right here, right now, to do something about that. Sadly, there are times that we fail children on this House floor. Let's not do that today. Thank you, members.